I want to be clear. I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled we have to do politics like this now, but you have to understand we do. The new right is the only chance we have. It is the way forward. Like I said, exposing them, bringing them into the light. Let's talk about abortion. We're winning right now. We had this leak. Remember, they leaked it. The communists leaked it. They leaked it to try to intimidate the judges into not overturning Roe versus Wade. They chose this battle. They decided to bring abortion into the light. And so the right, instead of doing what they normally would do, and normally this is what the right would do. They've done this for years. Well, I mean, I just think this is a divisive issue. We don't want to divide. Maybe very rare. Let's get a little bit better. No. The right didn't do that. The right chose to wade into it. Bring these people into the light, haul them in front of Congress and ask them pointed questions and make these psychopathic evil demons reveal themselves to be what they are. Look at Dan Bishop going after this one.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
He didn't have to say anything else. What else is necessary? He asked the question, allow the demons to reveal themselves, and now she's getting played on the first TV. This is how we win. Look at this guy, Mike Johnson, goes after, this is one of the best pieces of video ever. Republican after Republican after Republican across the country, state races, local races, federal races, should be taking this video and not running from the issue. Put this video in a campaign ad. They look like monsters, because that's what they are.
So abortion should be allowed then, by your definition, for any reason, for any purpose, at any stage, right?
I trust people to make decisions about their body, and then when relevant, I think that they need to consult their medical practitioners.
Okay.
And not
if
Congress.
it is, listen, let me just ask you this question. If it is not lawful and morally acceptable to take the life of a 10-year-old child, I assume you agree with that, right? That would be wrong, correct?
I believe that.
Okay.
That is
and
wrong.
A 2-year-old child, same thing. That would be murder. We would all agree that's wrong. Then what is the principal distinction between the human being that is 2 years old, or 9 months old, or 1 week old, or an hour old, than one that is 8 inches further up the birth canal in the utero? What's the difference? Why is it okay in the latter case and not the former cases?
I trust people to determine what to do with their own bodies.
Wow.
Full stop.
You don't have to do anything. Bring them into the light. That's all you have to do. And let's pause for a brief moment, because this is another thing we need to bring up. Another thing we always need to remind ourselves of this. I know I do. You do too, I'm sure. Remember, you're not necessarily dealing with a person. And I'm not saying that to be mean. Remember, you're dealing with a robot. You're dealing with somebody who not only doesn't think, they don't have any desire to think. And that's what's so hard for us, because you're a thinker. You wouldn't be sitting here right now watching I'm Right on the first TV with all your options if you weren't a thinker. You prefer to think. If I say something you disagree with, you let me know. Totally fine. You email all the time. Why? Because you're not a robot. You're not here to get plugged into the hive mind. That's not what we're dealing with. That thing there, she doesn't have another answer. I support people deciding what to do with their own bodies. She walked up to the hive mind, she plugged in her little cord, that was the software they uploaded to her, and now that's all she's capable of doing. That's all she's capable of doing, is simply repeating what she's been programmed with. That's what we're dealing with. And look, there is something else that we have to talk about. I know I certainly saw this with coronavirus, I'm sure you did too. We have a bunch of great doctors and nurses in this country, and we have a bunch of ones that aren't. We have a bunch of monsters in our medical profession, and the things I hear behind the scenes from doctors and nurses about the things they would say and discuss when it came to things like coronavirus and vaccines, made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. And these doctors, like this one Chip Roy goes after, ooh boy, this is a doctor.
When is the latest that you have performed an abortion in terms of weeks of the unborn child?
So since I will always follow the law and I live in the state of Alabama, I provide abortion care up until 20 weeks gestational age.
Have you performed abortions at that stage? And in doing so, have you had baby parts that you've had to discard or store in some capacity?
One of the things that you all have done
Legs,
throughout
arms, eyes.
this hearing is just use inflammatory language.
No,
as you
it's
talk about
a
the
question.
care that we
Ma'am,
provide.
it's a simple question. Have you had human parts, baby parts, arms, legs, as a result of an abortion performed at the time you just acknowledged you performed
I
abortions?
am a
up to
physician
20
and a
weeks?
proud abortion provider. There is nothing that you can say
yes
that
or no?
makes it difficult
Have-
for me
ma'am?
to talk about the care that I provide
Right.
to
So
my
have there
patients.
been baby parts, yes or no?
If you would like for me to talk to
And
you
where
about
and how
we
have they been
perform an
stored?
abortion for patients who need care
So the answer to the
at
question is
20
fairly
weeks
obvious,
gestational age, I'm happy
that
to
there are baby parts and you don't want to talk about how they're being stored.
That's how that's done.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.